The Russian Federation Armed Forces continue the special military operation. The Russian Aerospace Forces, missile forces and artillery are launching precision strikes on Ukrainian Armed Forces units and reserves in the Kharkov region. The strikes have resulted in the elimination of the military personnel and military equipment of the units of the 14th and the 92nd Mechanized Brigade of Ukrainian Armed Forces in the areas of Staroverovka, Chuguyev and Volosskaya Balakleya, the 113th Territorial Defense Brigade in Novaya Vodolaga, as well as the deployment point of foreign mercenaries near Klugino-Bashkirovka. Enemy losses were over 200 servicemen and more than 20 military equipment. In addition, during the day, concentrated fire strikes destroyed armed forces of Ukraine units in the areas of Pristin, Boldyrevka, Sinikha, Beloye, Komarovka, Gorokhovatka, Kupyansk, Senkovo and Podvysokoye of Kharkov region. More than 250 Ukrainian servicemen, 12 units of armored vehicles, 3 field artillery guns, 1 multiple launch rocket system and 17 motor vehicles were destroyed. On the Nikolayev-Krivoy Rog direction, high-precision missile strikes by the Russian Aerospace Forces destroyed a temporary deployment point of units of the 36th Brigade of Ukrainian Armed Forces Marine Corps near Nikolaev. More than 100 servicemen and 15 units of motor and armored vehicles of the enemy were lost. In total, from September 6 to 10, the Kiev regime losses were more than 4,000 dead and more than 8,000 wounded in these two areas alone. Operational, tactical and dummy aviation, missile troops and artillery continue launching attacks at the military facilities in Ukraine. Iskander high-precision ground-based missiles struck manpower and military equipment of the 28th Ukrainian Motorized Infantry Brigade during unloading at the railway station of Krasnoarmeysk in the Donetsk People's Republic. In the area of Mirolubovka in Kherson region, the strike of the Russian Aerospace Forces has resulted in elimination of over 50 servicemen and 7 pieces of military equipment of the 60th Infantry Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces. 8 command posts of Ukrainian Armed Forces, including the headquarters of the 93rd and the 24th Mechanized Brigade in the areas of Artyomovsk and Rygorodok of the Donetsk People's Republic. The command posts of battalions of the 1st Tank, the 59th Motorized Infantry Brigades, the 60th Infantry Brigade and the 35th Marine Brigade in the districts of Kalinovskoye, Maryanskoye of Dnepropetrovsk region, Kaluga of Nikolaev region and Belaya Krynitsa of Kherson region, as well as 43 artillery units, enemy manpower and military equipment in 103 areas were destroyed. Munition depots at Nikolaevka in the Donetsk People's Republic and Voznesensk in Nikolaev region were destroyed. A radio detection and ranging station in Staraya Bogdanovka in Nikolaev region was destroyed. Russian Air Defense Forces shot down one Mi-8 helicopter of the Ukrainian Air Force near Ogledar in the Donetsk People's Republic. 4 unmanned aerial vehicles were also shot down in the air of Tomina Balka in Kherson region, Snegirovka in Nikolaev region and Kurilovka in Donetsk region. 2 .U ballistic missiles and 2 American HARM anti-radar missiles were shot down in the air near the village of Udy in Kharkov region. In the area of Novaya Kakhovka in Kherson region, 12 shells of the US-made HIMARS multiple rocket launching system and 9 shells of the LH rocket system were intercepted. In total, 293 aircraft and 153 helicopters, 1,933 unmanned aerial vehicles, 374 air defense missile systems, 4,883 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 831 combat vehicles equipped with MRLS, 3,378 field artillery cannons and motors, as well as 5,469 units of special military equipment have been destroyed during the special military operation. In order to destabilize the situation in the territory liberated by the Russian armed forces and the suffering of civilians, the Kiev regime continues its deliberate shelling of energy infrastructure, generating facilities, transformer substations and power lines. Since September 1 this year, the territory of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant and the city of Energodar have been subjected to artillery fire from the Ukrainian armed forces 26 times, including the territory of the nuclear power plant. At the same time, as a result of aimed fire on the transformer substation on September 6 and the power line on September 8, the city of Energodar was twice remained without electricity. In the territory of the Donetsk People's Republic, Ukrainian artillery repeatedly struck 22 important power supply facilities in order to de-energize populated areas, kindergartens, life support facilities for the population, and industrial enterprises. On September 1, 3 mines of the Donetsk Coal Energy Company, where dozens of miners were trapped underground, were de-energized as a result of the strike. Yesterday, on September 10, 19 transformer substations in the Petrovsky district of Donetsk were de-energized due to shelling by the Ukrainian armed forces. More than 1,600 civilian objects were remained without electricity as a result of the shelling. It's important to say that the daily strikes against civilian infrastructure are carried out by the Kiev regime in a deliberate and targeted manner.